Have you ever looked at one of those circle patterns full of colored dots and been asked, what number do you see? That's not a trick question. That's the Ishihara Colour Vision Test, and it's a standard part of your firefighter medical. Hi, I'm Brent. I'm a firefighter here in Australia, and I help people prepare for every stage of the firefighter recruitment process, including the medical assessment. Today, we're talking about colour vision testing, what it is, how it works, and why it matters for firefighters. So first up, why do they test colour vision at all? Because in firefighting, colour matters. You need to be able to clearly distinguish between red, green, and amber indicator lights on breathing apparatus, control panels, and alarms. You have to read hazard signs, chemical labels, and warning lights instantly, often through smoke, glare, or poor visibility. Now, the test isn't about perfection, it's about making sure you can safely interpret critical visual information under stress. So here's how the test works. The most common version is the Ishihara Colour Plate Test. It's a simple, paper-based test developed over 100 years ago, and it's still used because it's quick and reliable. So you'd be shown a series of plates, each one covered with small coloured dots that form a pattern or number in the middle. Now, to most people, the number stands out fairly easily. For others, the dots blend together, and the number becomes hard to see or disappears completely. And that's how the test detects a colour vision deficiency, a difference in how your eyes process light. Now, I'm not an optometrist, but here's what's going on inside your eyes. At the back of your retina are light-sensitive cells called cones. You've got three types of them. One set detects red light, one detects green light, and one detects blue light. Together, these cones mix those three colors to create every shade that you see. But if one set of cones doesn't work properly, certain colors start to overlap or fade. That's what we call a colour vision deficiency, and it usually falls into one of three main types: Deutan, Protan, or Tritan. So let's break those down. Deutan deficiency is the most common. It's what we often call red-green colour blindness. It happens when the green sensitive cones don't work as they should. So people with this type can still see colour, they just have trouble telling the difference between their reds, greens, and browns, and sometimes even yellows. So things like a red warning light and a green indicator might look similar or duller than they actually are. Next is Protan deficiency, which also affects red-green vision, but this time it's the red cones that are affected. So people with Protan vision may see reds as darker, sometimes even brown or black, and greens may look a little more muted. This can make it tricky to spot red lights, brake signals, or hazard markings in certain lighting. Protan and Deutan are very similar. The difference is which cone type is affected. Green for Deutan, red for Protan. The third type, and probably the rarest, is Tritan deficiency. This one's completely different. It affects the blue cones. So people with Tritan colour vision deficiency may confuse blues with greens or yellows with light pinks and greys. This is rarer and often considered less important in firefighter applications. If your test shows you might have a deficiency, it doesn't automatically disqualify you. It does depend on the severity and the standards of the service that you're actually applying for. Mild forms often pass as long as you can safely identify the operational colors used on equipment and indicators. Sometimes you'll do a follow-up test like the Farnsworth D15 or a lantern test, which simulates signal lights to see how you perform in real-world conditions. So if you've ever mixed up colors or you're even worried about it, don't stress. It's far more common than most people realize, and the test is quick, painless, and it's easy to prepare for. Just make sure your eyes are well rested, you're not straining under bright lights, and also you're honest in your answers. At the end of the day, colour vision testing isn't about ruling you out. It's about making sure you can actually operate safely when seconds matter and conditions are tough. Your eyes are one of your most important tools on the job and in life, and this simple test makes sure that they're up to the task. I'm Brent from Fire Recruitment Australia. Thanks for watching. And if you found this helpful, check out my other videos where I break down every part of the firefighter medical and recruitment process so you can go in confident, prepared, and ready for the job.